Hello, good morning. This is Magdalena Vacu with your daily guidance. We got this morning in our group guided meditation, and I would love to share it with you. So the first thing that came through was this one. What if, upon waking up in the morning, you decide that you may not want to pick up where you left off when you went to sleep? What if? And maybe it happened to you, and definitely it happened to me many times in the past, when I would wake up in bliss in the morning, and then a few minutes later I would remember my story from the night before, and I was like, okay, and I could feel how I'm putting on a different mask, how I'm dressing myself with different feelings, with different attitudes, with different thoughts. And then at some point I was wondering, what would happen if I wake up new and I will not go back to the person I was when I went to bed last night? So I leave you with this question, and you can research and see how is that working out for you. Because of course, whatever it's obvious to do, we'll do it anyway. But maybe with a different attitude, if we let go of that baggage and that story. The second thing that came through today very strongly was, what if happy was your name? What if attitude and the feeling of being happy, of being joyful, would be like your name? You see, in your life, you carried your name through good and bad times, through challenges and opportunities, through successes and failures. You never even thought that you should change your name because you had a bad day. So what would be if you don't think of changing your state because you have a bad day? What if the bad day is doing its own thing and you decide to be happy anyway? And no, this is not being serious and not doing your work. It's just about, like, what would be if we just have that attitude? Joy is my nature. I'm not going to change my nature to adapt to what looks like a challenge. Maybe I can address the challenge dipping in my own nature, which is joy and happiness. And the third thing, I mean, today it was like a funny humor because everything we got is like self-inquiry, which is so powerful. So we are all left with these open questions. And the third point that came through was, what if we stop telling ourselves horror stories? Did you notice that we get afraid because the stories that we create in our heads? It's almost as if your front door lock gets broken. And then the action that you take is like you pack your bags and leave because it's not safe to be there anymore. You would never do that. But in our life, something goes maybe in a different way than expected. And then we create this amazing horror story in our heads. We have panic attacks, and we make the life of people around also difficult because we engage them into our dramas. What would happen if we choose to create a romantic comedy story rather than horror stories? And this brought me to the quote from the book A Course in Miracles, which is a wonderful book. And in the book it states, what is real cannot be threatened. What is unreal does not exist. Herein lies the peace of God. So your peace lies in your presence. So if we just allow ourselves to be present, whatever happens, whatever comes our way, we're just going to address that. There is no need for a story. Unless you're writing a book, then you may need a story. But otherwise, you don't need a story, and definitely you don't need a horror soundtrack to your story. So what if we just decide today it's a great day, 13th of February 2021, what if we decide today, or maybe any day you watch this video, it's a good day to decide, and we stop telling ourselves horror stories, and we stop scaring ourselves? So that's a question. What would happen if we do that? So the first thing, what would happen in the morning when you wake up if you don't pick off where you left off last night? And the second thing, what if happiness and joy would be your other name, your true nature, and you'll abide into it no matter what happens in your life? And the third is, what if we stop telling ourselves horror stories? So enjoy this guidance. Ask yourself this question, reflect, can comment below. I would love to engage in conversation. If you feel drawn to join us in the morning meditation, I'm really delighted to welcome you. We'll meditate together every morning at 5:55 to 6:55. The link to join is somewhere below. So join us. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your weekend. Lots of love. See you tomorrow.